everybody, my name is Colin, welcome back to another video. Today in this one it's going to be another deck profile video, and in this one it's going to be my deck profile on Kashtira Tenpai Fiendsmith. Yes, this deck is not dead, Tenpai. Even though Kaiman is at 1 and Chundra is now at 1, and obviously Summoning's been at 1 for a while now, turns out that's all you need to do with 2 OTKs, just have those cards at 1, but the peer deck is still pretty much dead now, so you kind of have to use it as a splashable engine, and guess what? Kashtira Fiendsmith is also just splashable engines you can play, so combining all 3 together turns out to be a really, really good deck. Yeah, this deck has kind of been popularized by, like, just a couple people not refusing to drop Tenpai, but I think Triff has been the main component, like playing this deck on his channel and stuff like that as well, and it's really, really good. Like, turn 1, obviously the Tenpai card doesn't seem that good, but you just use it as a normal summon to extend through bodies and stuff like that. And then turn 2, you use the Kashtrias and the Fiendsmiths to break a field, and you're like, okay, you have no more interruptions, normal summon a Tenpai card, offer Handshake, because that's all you really need. You can still OTK with just the 1 Kaiman, the 1 Summoning, and the 1 Chundra, which is dumb that this deck is still alive. But yeah, I took this to a win-a-box tournament yesterday, or I guess a couple days ago when once this video is uploaded, and I won the entire thing. I versed 2 Rizals and 2 Malices, so it's like I didn't verse any Rogue. I versed the 2 best decks in the format, and I won the entire thing. So this deck is really, really good to play. But without further ado, no more explanations. Let's get into the deck profiles, shall we? So we're going to start off with the main deck, obviously. We're going to start off with the Tenpai cards. We are playing 3 Padra, 2 Genroku. Sorry, let me fix this up real quick. 2 Genroku, obviously the 1 Chundra, because it's at 1 Fadra, and then the Sangan Summoning and the Sangan Kaiman, because obviously they're at 1, so we can't play more than that. So yeah, this is actually not a bad engine. So obviously you would assume this is really only a going second deck, but no, you would want to go first in this deck because, I mean, Fiendsmith Kashtira always does a lot anyways going first, but this isn't actually that bad to go first. If you draw the Pydra, this is technically 2 bodies. You can go Pydra, search for one of these spell traps. Doesn't really matter as long as you search Genroku off one of them. Genroku special, and since Genroku, none of these actually lock you into dragons. The only one that does is the Genroku second effect, and obviously the Synchro Monsters, but you're never making the Synchro Monsters on your first turn. So you just special this, and that's 2 bodies for Moon. Guess what? That's still full Fiendsmith combo, so that's all you need for that. So that's still really good. Obviously, Fadra and Chundra are not that good to draw going first. Chundra is really good to draw going second, but going Fadra is just a straight up brick. This deck, you do have to play it because it does help you OTK, but yeah, just a straight up brick. I do hate drawing this card, but you do have to play it. But yeah, really, really good stuff. Maybe you want to play Genroku at 3 just so you see more engine, but this is fine. I'm playing a 40 card list. I think this is pretty much fine to play. So that is it for the Tenpai cards. Now on, we're going to go to the Fiendsmith cards here. We are going to be playing, obviously this is just standard stuff, 3 Fiendsmith Engraver, 1 Lacrima, the Crimson Tears, 1 Fabled Lori, 2 Fiendsmith Track, and a Fiendsmith in Paradise. Again, this is pretty standard stuff when it comes to playing the Fiendsmith engine. I've been thinking about maybe playing 3 track just so I see this as much as possible, but we have plenty of ways to get to Moon in this deck, so I don't think it's really necessary. So yeah, pretty standard stuff. It's really, really good. There's a reason why this engine is pretty much everywhere right now, because it's really, really good. The only deck that can't really play it is Malice, but even then, there's people playing it in Malice, so that's kind of insane. But yeah, very good stuff. There's a reason why this is everywhere. Really, really good, and obviously the Paradise is to play on your opponent's turn as well. Really good engine that we are playing here. Now on to the Kashtira portion of the deck. We are playing 3 Nightmare Unicorn, 3 Kashtira, or did I say Nightmare Unicorn? Sorry, Kashtira Unicorn. 2 Kashtira Fenrir, 1 Pressured Planet, 1 Kashtira Birth, and 1 Terraforming. That technically is our last like engine card in the deck. This obviously can go for either engine to search for either planet or for Sangan Summoning, so this can bridge either engine. I'm not playing set rotation just because honestly I never felt a reason to play it. I'm only playing 1 of each field spell. Maybe if you're playing more planets you probably could, but I'm only playing 1 of each just so I keep it at 40, so I cut the set rotation. But that is still a very good card you could be playing in this deck. But yeah, 3 Unicorn is just an extra body to search out Birth, which is really good. Sometimes a lot of people imperm the Kashtira Unicorn when I played it, which is fine with me. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm just gonna normal guy go into Fiendsmith combo anyways, right? Fenrir is just an excellent going second card. as well, and it does a lot into something like a detonator as well, being able to go like Fenrir. They're going to have to be forced to pop. You go, okay, search unicorn, search. You know, like it forces out a lot the Fenrir by itself. Obviously, the plan is to just search one of them. It doesn't. That's all it's in here for, is just to search. And then Birth is obviously the search target for Kashtira Unicorn. Also brings back a guy, and then if they activate a spell, you can banish 3 cards in their graveyard as well, as long as you control Kashtira. Unicorn also being just that extra deck rip is also very insane as well. Really did like this engine a lot. It wouldn't do anything to it. I think a lot of people aren't playing it in the Tenpai deck. I think Triff is like playing more of the Bestials versions, but I really do like Kashtira as an engine, so that's why I'm playing it right now. And now on to the non-engine that we are playing. I am playing 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, 3 Effect Veiler, 3 Nibiru the Primal Being, 2 Triple Tactic Talents, 1 Called by the Grave, and of course the last hand trap is 3 Infinite Impermanences. So yeah, this is pretty standard list. I think Ash should be played no matter what deck you are playing. Ash is just really, really good. This format hits so much, I'm not going to lie. So yeah, it should be playing Ash. Nib is really good. I've come around to this card. I've kind of hated this card initially, like at the start of the format, but I've came around to the card. I think Nib is actually really good this format. 2 Triple Tactic Talents, because hand traps are fucking everywhere right now. So Talents being able to look at hand, or even going second to like break a field, is really good as well. 1 Called by the Grave is just 1 Called by the Grave, stops hand traps and stuff like that. 3 Infinite Impermanence, I think it's also just one of the best hand traps in the game. 3 Veiler, it's good, don't get me wrong, but like if you want to cut this for something else, I'm not playing Bestials. If you want to play Bestials, you could in that slot. You could, but you know, Veiler's still not that bad of an option as well. So this is my non-engine. This is 15 non-engine, and like I was saying, this is I don't know if I said it before, but this is a perfect 40 card list. Yeah, I think I was initially playing 42, but I was like, I found some cards to cut to make it just a perfect 40, and I think that makes sense for this deck, because obviously all the Tenpai cards are limited, so you still want to try to find that as much as possible. Now on to the extra deck. So we're going to start off with the Fiendsmith part of the extra deck. We are playing 1 Requiem, 1 Sequence, 1 Moon of the Closed Heaven, 1 Necroquip Princess, 1 Fiendsmith Desiree, and a DDD High King Caesar. So before you say anything of where is Agmade or something like that, I'll get to Agmade in just 1 second. So just keep that in mind. I'll get to it in just 1 second. But this is the engine I'm playing currently. Again, pretty standard stuff. Again, the only thing is the Agmade, which I'll talk about in 1 second. Requiem is just a broken-ass card, to be honest with you, because Lacrima exists, so it's very, very good. Sequence in the Desiree is all that's there for. Moon is just a bridge to get to Requiem. Necroquip is to help to get you to the DDD, or even draw a card if you have the Fiendsmith stuff as well. And then Desiree is just a broken-ass card. It's either an Omni-Negate, which is really, really good, or it's a pop in the graveyard with Fiendsmith in Paradise. So really good engine. There's a reason why, again, the Fiendsmith stuff is pretty much everywhere right now, is because this engine is really, really, really good. Now on to like just the rest of the generic extra deck stuff. We are playing 1 Hieratic Seals of Heavenly Spheres. This is just for the Tenpai stuff for going first. I made this a lot of the times. Being able to just set up on seals, like it seals DDD, is really, really good, not going to lie. So Seals is very good. And this is obviously just for the Tenpai stuff. We are playing SP Little Knight, because just a generic guy that just in the extra deck. This card, I'm sorry, you do have to play SP Little Knight. This card's just way too good. I am playing 1 Hida because we are playing Promethean Princess. Now, this seems a little weird, but this is because I wanted to play a fire target for Promethean Princess, just so I can put it into graveyard, and Hida is that fire target, just in case. A lot of the time I do like just putting Promethean in the graveyard turn 1, because you could do that as a turn 1 combo. Making the Hida and then making where Promethean is an interruption is really, really nice as well. So that's the reason why that's in there. But Promethean Princess is kind of obvious, obviously, because if you use the Tenpai cards going first, going second, you can go into a Promethean Princess, bring back the Tenpai card, and then, you know, OTK with that as well. So this card is really, really mandatory. Maybe Hida isn't mandatory, but the Promethean is pretty much mandatory in this deck. And then the last generic link card is a flex spot. This can be whatever you want it to be. This can be the Agmade, like I said, that could be really nice to be playing in this deck. This can also just be like a Chaos Angel that I'm not playing in the deck right now, but if you want to play a Chaos Angel, this can be the Chaos Angel. This is just a flex spot that you do, if you do want to play it, you can play whatever the hell you want it to be. If you want to play like a second fire target for Promethean, because if you want to make Promethean turn 1, you probably need a second fire target. This can be that as well. This is just a generic spot that I just didn't really know what to put in, but probably is the Agmade if you do play the Agmade. But this is just a generic card that you don't like a generic spot to fill in. That's pretty much it for that. We are playing a Sky Crisis because Sky Crisis is insane going into the Rizal matchup. So like, yeah, Sky Crisis is kind of cool. You do have to play this card in this deck. And now for the synchros, we are playing the 1 Bident, the 1 Transcendent, and the 1 Trident Dragon. Guess what? That's all you need to do to OTK in this deck, is just to have these 3 cards. Maybe you play 2 Bident. I think you're a little crazy if you do play 2 Bident. I don't think it's really necessary. You're never making this turn 1 anyways. So yeah, you're only going to make these cards if you're going to OTK, and that's pretty much, or at least go into battle phase with the Tenpai cards, right? So you never really need more than just the ones in the extra deck. So I do like this a lot. Again, this is all you need to play in the deck. So that is it for the extra deck. Now on to the side deck. We are playing 3 Artifact Lancia, just because it's Malice. It's a Malice out. You do just want to play Lancia for Malice. We're playing 3 Metal Tronus. This might seem a little weird, but yes, I am playing Metal Tronus. I've always just been a fan of this card ever since I topped with it with Yugioh. This card is just really good, and especially it's insane once you verse like a Fiendsmith, like Mirror Match and stuff like that, just because being able to like negate a DDD High King Caesar and then summon a Desiree is the dumbest shit in the universe, not gonna lie. But you also have a target for Detonator as well, because Nibiru the Primal Being is a 3k light, so this is a target for the Detonator. This doesn't really have a target for Malice. Maybe if you play Axis Code in the extra deck, you could like target the White Binder off of this and then summon an Axis Code, which is kind of cool, I guess. I don't know. I just really do like this card a lot. If you want to play something else in this slot, you could. But I do really like Metal Tronus a lot. And then especially when Supreme Darkness comes out and they get the new fusion, that's a 3k as well. Yeah, this comes even better. It's a 3k light to hit Detonator, and you get to the Fiendsmith combo as well. We are playing 3 Book of Eclipse. Obviously, this is just for the Rizal. If you verse Rizal, Book of Eclipse goes in hard against Rizal. Onto the trap cards, we are playing 3. Let me, if I can fucking get it out. Thank you. Dimensional Barrier, because I mean it's just a Rizal out. This can be Solemn Strikes if you want to be playing Solemn Strikes. I don't know how good Barrier really is right now, but just because a lot of people are on the Fiendsmith Rizal, which Barrier doesn't somewhat hit, but it can as well. I don't know. I think Barrier is still perfectly fine card. And then the last card I'm playing is the 3 Solemn Judgment as well. These also could be strikes if you want to play strikes as well. But Judgment's really insane as well. Judgment's a really, really dumb card, and it did win me a lot of games in the tournament that I played in as well. So that is it for the entire deck. Now let's get into some combos, shall we? Alrighty, now on to the combo portion of the video here. Now I am going to put a quick disclaimer here. Yes, this is a combo like tutorial kind of thing, but this deck is always kind of just hand dependent. Depends on what your hand is. That's kind of what the Kashtira Fiendsmith deck is yes, there are combos, but you know, you're not going to set up, like, you're most likely wanting to play through hand traps more than you want to go full combo. So a lot of this is just like low to the ground combo kind of thing, but that's just how the deck plays. So I'm going to be showing you a 1-card combo with Pydra, and then another combo with Pydra and Kashtira Unicorn. So without further ado, let's get into the combo, shall we? So just the Pydra combo, you just normal summon Pydra effect to search out for Kaiman here. It can be summoning as well if you have another card in hand. Doesn't necessarily have to be Kaiman, but if you want to keep like a hand advantage, then Kaiman is probably the best. You activate Kaiman here to go ahead and search for Genroku, and then Genroku effect will trigger since you added it to hand to special itself to the field here. Now you have 2 different ways to play it from here. Now if you can just go like Genroku effect, tribute itself, summon a Fadra, then Fadra bring back Genroku, then link off Pydra and Genroku into Seals, and then just end on Seals and Genroku. You can do that, or you can just link the Pydra and the Genroku into Seals as well. That also works as well, but you can also go into a different route, because these are just 2 monsters to go into Moon of the Close Sky. All you need is 2 to go into a Requiem. Requiem effect will trigger here to go full Fiendsmith combo. Here you go, Lacrima, dump Engraver, shuffle back, or sorry, Requiem effect to equip, and then you go into Necroquip, and then Engraver effect, shuffle back the Moon of the Close Sky for cost, special itself out, and make the DDD here. So you kind of have a couple routes there. With just the 1-card Pydra, you can make a Seals and Genroku pass, you can just make a Seals pass, or you can go into the Fiendsmith route and end on DDD plus like the Lacrima engrave and stuff like that. That's how you kind of have to treat the deck, is not, you know, you wanting to go second in OTK, because to be honest with you, you're just using Tenpai as an engine. You still want to very much go first, because Kashtira and Fiendsmith like to go first, but the deck can go second, and the Tenpai can obviously OTK going second. We've seen plenty of that. So it's kind of a weird thing to have Tenpai go first, but that's kind of how I've been playing the deck, is I go first with Tenpai and kind of just use it as an engine to get into the Moon of the Close Sky. And then if I'm going second, obviously use it for its OTK potential. So this is kind of a one thing here that you can do. So yeah, that was that combo. Now let's get into the other combo, shall we? Alrighty, so this one is going to be a 2-card combo with the Pydra and Kashtira Unicorn. Technically, Fiendsmith also does this as well if you draw the Fiendsmith Engraver as well. So just a 2-card combo here. So we special out Unicorn first, then normal summon Pydra. Pydra effect to search for Kaiman. Again, this can be summoning if you want to. Depends on what your hand is. Obviously, you would have 3 other cards in your hand here. I am searching Kaiman here, though, because we can actually play around Droll. So if we get Drolled here, we can chain the Kaiman and still be fine. But if we don't get Drolled, obviously we're playing against no hand traps. Just to show you what the deck can do. We go Unicorn effect to search for Birth. Then we just link both of them off. We have 2 bodies. Let's go into Fiendsmith, shall we? We go into Moon. Moon into Requiem. Requiem effect to go ahead and special summon out the Lacrima. Lacrima effect to go ahead and dump Engraver into the graveyard. Then we'll go Requiem effect equipped to the Lacrima. Then obviously fusion summon it into, or not fusion, contact fuse into Necrocrypt Princess. Then Engraver effect, shuffle back the Moon into the Closed Sky, special itself out, and then make a DDD High King Caesar. Now, we still have more plays here. We can go Kaiman here to go ahead and search for Genroku. Then Genroku effect will obviously trigger because we already did its effect, or we searched it off the Kaiman. Then we go Birth to go ahead and special out Unicorn. Then we go Genroku effect, tributing itself to summon out Fadra. Fadra effect to special back the Genroku, or Padra, doesn't really matter, either one works. You just need it to be a dragon, because we're going to make ourselves a Seals here, and that's kind of your combo. Again, you would have 3 other cards in your hand, but you're ending on a DDD High King Caesar, a Seals, which is a bounce, plus, you know, you're going to summon out Padra, which is going to get you into a summoning, or the other spell that you didn't search for the combo, which is going to help you get the follow-up. And obviously, you have the Unicorn to rip the extra deck as well. There are some combos where if you draw Fenrir, you can go search summoning, and then summoning search, and then pitch Fenrir, and then go Birth, bring back the Fenrir, which is pretty nice as well. Again, all very much hand dependent. So yeah, that is kind of it for the turn 1 combos. Again, going second, you're most likely just, again, going Kashtira and Fiendsmith to break the field, and then once you've broken the field with those 2 cards, you normal summon a Tenpai card, and then offer the Handshake, because that's all you need is the 1 Tenpai, and you're just going to OTK them with that. So yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe for more content on the channel, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.